Have you ever used a piece of tech and just thought, wow, this just works? Or, on the flip side, wanted to throw something against the wall because it's so frustrating? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible blueprint that makes all the difference. I mean, we've all been there, right? You download a new app, and it's like it reads your mind. It's so easy. Then you try another one, and it feels like a total mess. So what's the secret? What makes one a dream and the other a nightmare? You know the difference. It's ordering dinner with just a couple of taps versus being stuck on some bizarre, confusing payment screen. Or, using a simple map app to get around a new city versus fighting with a gadget that has way too many buttons you'll never, ever use. And here's the fascinating part. This difference between good and bad tech, it is not an accident. It's not luck. It's the result of a very specific, very deliberate plan. Okay, the answer lies in something with a kind of long academic-sounding name, a human-computer interaction research framework. I know, that's a mouthful. But trust me, understanding what this is will totally change how you look at pretty much every piece of tech you own. So let's break it down. Think of this framework as the secret recipe that all the best designers follow. It's their master plan for building technology that doesn't just work, but feels like it was literally made just for you. So what is it really? An HCI research framework is just a structured plan. It's a way for designers to study real people, you, me, everybody, to figure out how we're actually going to use a new app or a new gadget before it ever hits the market. They're not just guessing here, they're doing their homework. And the process itself? It's just super logical. First, you gotta understand the user, like deeply understand them. What do they need? What drives them crazy? Then you design and you test. And you test, and you test, and you test again with prototypes. That way, you can launch a product not just hoping for the best, but being confident that people will actually find it useful. Okay, so that's the theory, but how does this invisible blueprint actually work in the real world? Let's dive into 3 huge examples that you probably interact with every single day. First up, let's talk about speech. This is the amazing challenge of teaching our computers to actually understand us when we talk to them. Yep, we're talking about those familiar voices in our homes and phones, Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant. These things didn't just magically appear. They are the result of years and years of intense HCI research into how we humans naturally talk to each other. And this quote right here, it nails it. The reason these assistants seem to get smarter is because of tons of research into something called natural language processing. That's basically the science of teaching a computer all the messy, weird, and wonderful things about human language. The whole point is to make talking to them feel less like you're talking to a robot and more like a real conversation. All right, next up, let's talk about making sense of the absolute mountains of data that are all around us. The key to this is something called information visualization. Just picture a massive spreadsheet, okay? Thousands and thousands of rows and columns of raw numbers. It's just a wall of data. Now, the information in there might be super valuable, but looking at it like this, it's just overwhelming. For most of us, it's pretty much useless. But now, look at this. We take that same data and turn it into a simple bar chart. Suddenly, boom, it all makes sense. Our brains are just wired to see patterns visually, so you can spot the trend in like a split second. That journey from total chaos to perfect clarity, that's what great HCI design is all about. And this is not just for boring business reports. Think about the COVID-19 health dashboards we all started using a few years ago. The challenge there was huge. They had to make this complex data easy for everyone to understand, from a scientist to your grandmother. Good data visualization made that possible. And you know what? It probably saved lives. And for our last example, let's look at tech that is so good, so well designed, that it basically becomes invisible. Welcome to the world of ubiquitous computing. So ubiquitous is just a fancy word for everywhere. And in the world of tech, it's kind of the ultimate goal. The idea is to weave technology so seamlessly into our everyday lives that we don't even think about it anymore. It's just there. Think about a smart home. You walk in the door and say, hey, turn on the lights. You're not tapping a screen or flipping a switch. The technology is just part of the house itself. Or what about that fitness watch on your wrist? It's tracking your steps, monitoring your heart rate, all in the background, without you having to do anything. It's a powerful computer that just feels like a natural part of you. Even just tapping your phone to pay for coffee? That's a perfect example.
It gets rid of all the annoying stuff, like digging for cash or signing a receipt. It's so smooth, you barely notice it happened.
And of course, Google Maps. The researchers behind it knew that most users would be drivers, maybe a little stressed and needing info at a quick glance. So they designed an interface that's so simple and reliable that it just blends right into the act of driving.
So here's the big takeaway from all this. The tech that feels the most simple, the most effortless, it is anything but accidental. It is the result of that invisible blueprint we talked about, a deliberate, thoughtful plan designed from the very beginning with one goal: to understand us.
And really, that leaves us with a huge question for the future. As technology gets more and more powerful and more invisible, how do we make sure that it's being built for everybody? How does this blueprint serve the elderly or people with disabilities? Making sure no one gets left behind, that's the next great challenge. Thanks for tuning in.